Oh, hi there. It's Sunday morning, which is not the usual time for me to be streaming, usually at the club, but that is not being held today. So I have time, thankfully, to be able to watch friend of the channel and supporter gosttone from Guatemala in a Division C WSL game, an important game with Slovakia, also one of the channel favorites. And I'm excited for this one. I am definitely excited. It's coming in 13 minutes, it looks like. Don't Know versus gosttone, Division C. We take a look at the standings. Guatemala is in the bottom two. Hey, Tulip, nice to see you. Guatemala is in the bottom two, fighting to stay out of the bottom two. In the bottom two, fighting to stay out of there. Because the bottom two teams in each division demote, and the top two teams promote for next year. The WSL, for those who don't know, is a league that runs for multiple years. It's been running, I don't know actually the history of it. It's been running for multiple years, but every year sort of feeds into the next year. Teams are established, they climb up the divisions, they fall down the divisions, and new team members are sometimes added, team members are sometimes lost. It's a team, country-based team event that runs for many years. So, like I said, the bottom two in each division will demote to the lower division, and the top two promote to the next higher division, except for Division A and E. Division A, the top team wins. Division E, the bottom two teams stay in Division E. Hey, Ayaka, nice to see you. Good morning. And I'm excited for this one. So let's go to 81 Dojo, check it out, see if anyone's waiting. We still have 11 minutes before it starts. I'm going to switch my scene here. And yeah, so that's going on. My eye has been bothering me pretty much since a little after I woke up. It feels like there's something in there. It's watering a little bit. And just a little cloudy. So I'm dealing with that, but hopefully that won't impact my commentary or my ability to see the game. Like, yeah, it's a little cloudy. Not cloudy, but a little blurry because there's like moisture, there's water. Someone just said, Andy95, I just in the main chat just said gosttone. But I don't know what that means. Maybe he's cheering for gosttone, but that's happening. Also, in the middle of the night for me, the first game of the Tournament to King tournament concluded. It is between Koshiro and, I apologize, I don't know the name, someone, I believe, from Taiwan, and Koshiro won the game. I checked out the Kifu this morning. It was awesome as expected, but he played Nakabisha Anaguma, which is something we've been talking about on stream quite a bit lately. And he played that, and it was brilliant. He made a rook sacrifice that allowed him to get a horse, and just the game, as far as I was concerned, it was a thing of beauty. And yeah, it really exposed it to me. It really exposed, not exposed, but it showed some of the concepts of what to do against. I think it was Chosokugin that the opponent selected, I think, and it showed some of the weaknesses in the bishop or in the knight. In the Koshiro was Gote, so on his left, the opponent's 3/7 knight. He really was able to take advantage of it because that pawn is pushed, the knight's out there, and I just scrolling through the game. I was really impressed, as I always. I'm easily impressed by very strong players because I just am shocked by the sort of brilliancies. But I know he prepared that. He had mentioned he was preparing something, and boy did he. So it will be interesting to see how his opponent adjusts in game 2 and what Koshiro brings to the table in game 2. It's a best of 3 series. So Koshiro is right now in the driver's seat for the Tournament to King finals. And let's see if we can get to that tourney. Yeah, I do have this in my history, so it's popped right up. Boy. Okay, Miyarishu-chan. Miyarisu-chan. Miyarisu-chan. Koshiro-Hama. I don't know what that means. This must be 81 Dojo name and Discord name? Maybe. But anyway, yeah, so there it is. Melkor came in third, Telmarch fourth. These are really strong players. Benjamin Shuett, as we've discussed on the channel, really strong players in this tournament. It's a really cool one. Most of these games are not running at a time, I think, that I can watch. But like for example, this finals with Koshiro, which I would have loved to spectate, was at 3 in the morning for me. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So we're here. Let's go back. Hopefully everyone comes to the game here on time. Let's check to see who's logged in. Ghost1 is not logged in. Don't Know is logged in. Don't Know is currently Shodan, again from Slovakia. What was I trying to do? A max of 1684, so a max of 2 Dan, currently Shodan. And Ghost1, I believe, is a max of 3 Dan these days. Let me get that back up. $17.50 is 3 Dan, I think, nowadays. So he has not quite hit there. He's been up there. He absolutely could be there. He's good enough. And but he is on a losing streak. You know, I think he has not been playing as much. So, you know, real life sometimes gets in the way, but I know he takes these games seriously. And you know, I'm just always cheering for him. He's been a friend of the channel since the very beginning, if I recall. And there's that. Let's close that. Let's get this back up. Sorry for my tab management here. And yeah, just wait. And as we when this game winds down, depending on when, I'll probably do some Tsume battle or some Tsume on Play Shogi. Do a little bit training. Hello, Harry3. Nice to see you. Redeeming that highlight. Hello, Melkor. Great to see you too. And Emperor Rex on YouTube. Good day. Hope everyone is having a great end to their weekend here. Or in Japan, I suppose. It's still end of the weekend. I think it's still end of the weekend at 2 in the morning, Monday morning. And Don't Know has offered the game. Let me bump this up so it shows on the screen. Don't Know has offered. And as soon as Ghost1 gets in, he still has 5 minutes. And we'll see. So very excited. And just let's take a look at Division C again. Let's take a look at this game. Let me switch my scene. August. This is the first game. So this is the first game in August, and it's a tough one. It's a very tough one for Guatemala, who they need a win. They need a win, but the Slovakia 2 family is a tough one. The newly crowned European Shogi champion is board 1. His dad is board 3, and I think this is. I think Don't Know is the brother or a cousin. I think it's a brother. Because I think RP Player also is related, a brother. But I don't remember. Now I'm not remembering. But I'm quite certain that it's all in the family. I see United States 3 is lined up here. United States 3 also desperately needs a win. And this is a good team. This France team is a good team. So it's going to be tough, but they can do it. Foradun is constantly improving. And, very strong player regardless of improvement at this point. And Colombia and Canada, this is going to be an interesting match. Konoman, Snowpiercer, and MIH. 3 friends of the channel. And boy, it's all good. It's all good. WSL has so much good stuff coming. So I don't miss it, let me get back here. And again, for anyone who's just joining in, if my eye is somehow doing weird things, I don't know if it is going to. It doesn't seem like it's doing weird things, but it's like I said, it's been bothering me from this morning. So it's watering. The eye is watering. It's a little blurry for me, just because of the water, not because of like damage. But I'm not sure what happened. I took a look to see if there's like an eyelash or something in there. I don't see it, but it's been bothering me for the past 3 hours. So hopefully that clears up. It doesn't impact the game. 10:28. Just got a notification here. What was that about? Not sure what that is. You see your brother playing on 81 Dojo lately pretty often. Oh! I won't ask who that is, but that is nice to see. That is very nice to see. I'm almost out of my coffee. The game hasn't started. I made a coffee. I did a pour over. I did a really good pour over here and enjoying it, but I'm almost done. I'm almost done and the game hasn't even started. But I'm feeling warm. Harry and 3. I like the, just the random Atari loaf. After this stream, I need to cut Atari's back nails. They're getting a little too long. Got 6 people watching Borg Cube and Understandings. Hey, Yloigh. The pause. We're just throwing out random emotes today. This is Random Emote Sunday. Oh man, the coffee is making me warm now too. I'm gonna turn the AC on. I just have the fan on. There we go. Oh, hi, Atari. You heard me talking about you? Yeah? You gonna come over here? Or you gonna go upstairs? Yeah, go upstairs and go to sleep so I can easily cut your back nails later. All right. All right, it's 10:30. We're officially on. Hey, Mako, good to see you. Welcome. These Blossom Badge, level 4, what do those mean? What do those mean? You want to make a, Melkor, you want to make a push for 6 down in 81 Dojo soon, now that there is hype with all the, yeah. You got to make, what is it called? The game has started. You've got to make hay while the sun is shining. Urshinoryu! Oh man, I'm always cheering for Ghost 1, but seeing that Urshinoryu makes it real hard. Immediately I'm hyped. Immediately I'm hyped. Yeah, that's when I feel the most confident in my shogi, that's when I do the worst. I expect Ghost 1 to get this bishop out here. I expect this. I expect this from him against Urshinoryu / Torizashi. I mean, it wouldn't be Torizashi. It wouldn't be Torizashi technically against opposing rook. But to head off the Torizashi, let me get this thing out of my window here. All right. Cheering for Ghost 1. No, we don't win those. I'm cheering for Ghost 1. I'm cheering for him. I have to cheer. Okay, so he's in third file. So he's what we're going to see. What I'm guessing we're going to see. We're going to see this, 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 and then we're going to see this. That's my guess. That's my guess. If this was a Sunday morning at the East Bay Shogi Club, that's what we would be seeing. He's touching every piece. He's adjusting every piece. He's adjusting every piece. He's like Garry Kasparov. He's adjusting every piece. Oh no, is this that 81 dojo bug? This is that 81 dojo bug. It's going to do that until I log out and log back in. I should have kept the arrows. You haven't played a single Shogi game since April, but you'll be lurking here occasionally. Wait, you're here quite often. You're here quite often. And I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, 100 stream streak. I mean, obviously. Oh, he did not do that. Ah, he did not do that. He did not do that. So, just a little view into my mind of playing Torizashi. I don't like doing this first. I like to bring my pieces into position so that I could threaten the quick engage. And this silver is to do the quick engage where you push this pawn quickly and try to sacrifice or exchange the bishops. When the rook comes over, you need to be able to have something defending your rook so that when you take the bishop, he takes the rook, you take back, and then he takes that bishop back, and then you get your rook drop. Sorry, it's probably a little too it's probably a little spoken a little too haphazardly to make sense to anyone who hasn't seen it before. But I don't like this move first. But that's because I play Torizashi. You could definitely play Urushi no Ryu against third file rook and not play Torizashi. So, he may go into something a little more traditional here. Though he is kind of getting there. I personally like to have my king a little safer before I start opening this stuff up. Just my own take here. So the move order, while they may end up in a position that is what I would normally see, I don't like this move order, and here's partially why. One thing I would do here with this silver up, I would push this pawn. Now that he's in opposing rook, I would push this pawn so I can get my king over and get my silver up, get that silver up here, get the bishop here, and we get that really nice battery on this diagonal. So that's my approach to the opposing rook. And effectively against third file rook, it's not that it matters all that much, but it is a tempo loss for Sente because he played third file and then played opposing rook. This I don't like as much. It's fine. It's fine. I don't like this as much. I find when I do things like this, I get he can push this pawn, which blocks our desire to do this, and then he gets that, and it locks it in, and it just becomes kind of oppressive to me. That's why I don't play this way from the Torizashi or from the Urushi no Ryu side. But also, he has got to get this king over. He's absolutely got to get this king over. Wait, what is this? Urushi no Ryu more traditional than Torizashi? Wait, what? Wait, what? Torizashi is old. That's my Torizashi. Hashtag my Torizashi. So I think I would have played this differently from both sides. Personally. The things that I would have done from Ghost One's perspective is pushing this pawn a little earlier and not committing to the opposing rook not committing to the opposing rook until you need to, personally. Or if you think there's so that's the thing, is like, if you think there's a chance you're going to go opposing rook, I don't quite understand. I know a lot of third file rook players do it. They'll go third file and then they'll switch again. But sometimes when you really know what you're going to get, it doesn't make as much sense. Oh, if I said that, that was a mislip. Yeah, I know that Torizashi is a very classic, old-timey opening. Yeah, the first time I ever played Torizashi over the board at the San Francisco Shogi Club, one of the players said, like, well, as they do, so desu ne, and then afterwards told me, this is a very old Joseki. So much of I like whether it's true or not, I like to believe that the Torizashi that I play is modern. It's heavily influenced by a variation that Koshiro has taught me, which I call the quick engage Torizashi. I don't know if that's what it's called obviously it's not called an English word in Japan, but that quick engage Torizashi I like a lot. Even if the engine, it's not the top engine line. Harry, is that the Torizashi? And so I don't know, like so Koshiro and I would call it quick engage Torizashi. Like, I don't know what the Japanese for that is, so I can just call it Haya Torizashi. Haya Torizashi is what I play. Andrea Menez, yeah, Ghost One. We're cheering for Ghost One. Ghost One's a great guy, friend of the channel, personal. I would say personal friend of mine. There are people I've met online. I have not yet met him in person, but there are some people I've met here in my shogi life that I consider personal friends now, and Ghost One is one of them. There are a bunch of people I would love to play over the board, meet, talk about shogi. Crush them, hear their lamentations. Hear the despair as they realize, wait a minute, Shogi Dad is pretty good over the board. He may look like a buffoon online streaming. He's pretty good over the board. That's my dream. Some online friends you better hope to be able to call friends. Yeah. You spend time with people online or offline, many hours, and you get to know them, and you cheer them on, you support them, they support you, and yeah, I think it's natural. Gust One, when he went to ISF, he delivered to someone that I know. He delivered a gift, like a physical gift, to me through someone, and Koshiro did the same, which was really nice. And Yeah, just just really nice people in the shogi world. Just really nice people. Tulip would never. Tulip would never call Melkor a friend. Tulip would never call Melkor a friend in real life or in virtual life. In real life or Tomodachi life. Tomodachi Janai. I don't know if that means no. I don't know if that means not Tomodachi, no, not friends. But there's my Tomodachi Janai. Thanks for streaming. Oh, my pleasure. I love these games more than I think I love these games as much or more than anyone. So this is more fun. These WSL games, I've said, like I think they're more fun for me than for the people having to listen to my nonsense commentary. But I'm going to continue to say that Don't Know has to get this king over. This is not going to end well. I think this is not going to end well. Well, it'll end well. You know, we're cheering for Ghost One, but you know, I'm cheering for a good game. I like both these teams. You know, I am partial. I am partial. You know, not only to channel supporters, but people that I know. And Ghost One is both of those things. And Guatemala really needs to get out of the basement. They really need to get out of the bottom two. They have not had a good year. They haven't played up to their potential. I think they're just busy. A lot of them are busy with real life, and they've struggled with some tough matchups. I think this is an 81 dojo bug. Someone has said this before. When you see all those spurious piece grabs, that it's an 81 dojo bug, and that like when I log out and log in, it'll be fixed. But if not, he is definitely adjusting Jadoob. He's saying Jadoob before every move. It'd be really funny if when he plays over the board, he actually does that too. If he's one of those people. You know, there are people that are constantly touching their own pieces. You know, they're petting their own pieces at the board. I'm surprised there aren't more games today. You know, I talked about Koshiro's game, his win in game one of the Tournament to King. And you know, maybe we'll look at that as well after this game. Like I said, it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, Nakabisha Anaguma. It's crazy how much he plays. It's crazy much how the variety of openings that Koshiro can play and play well. GM Zerk, yeah, it would be cool to look at. Yeah, it's I don't know if you've looked at it yet. It is nice. Great to see you, by the way. Hope you're having a good weekend. He just it's funny because in the Nakabisha game, he was going against one of the openings that basically made me second guess playing Nakabisha. I was so kind of, if I remember correctly, I was so not sick, but like I was getting flooded with Chosokogin and just constantly having bad positions against it. In a similar way to the way I'm getting really bad positions against Bogin as Gote with Urashino Ryu. But Chosokogin was just it seems like everyone knows it. Everyone knows it against Nakabisha, and everyone was playing it. And the way Koshiro handled it was just beautiful. It's like when I watch I can't remember his Shogi Hiroki. And I'd see him play a Nakabisha game. You know, he plays everything. He's a pro, and you know, he on his channel he would play things, and he'd play Nakabisha, and just be completely unfazed by some of these countermeasures. Oh, interesting, Melkor. Interesting. So you find it interesting that Chokoway played that risky line. You haven't looked closely, but Koshiro made Nakabisha look completely broken. He did. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was watching that game and or reviewing that game, and I'm like, his opponent is not a Shodan like I might be playing. This is a 6 Dan. I think he's been higher. Like, this is a top worldwide amateur. Outside, ignoring Japan. This is one of the very best players outside of Japan, and he just seemed utterly unprepared for what Koshiro was bringing. And so it's interesting to me that, Melkor, you say that that's a risky line, and that at this point you never go for that rook trap, always go for the space advantage. That's fascinating, because I always, when I would play that line, when I would play what Koshiro did, and my opponents don't trap my rook, I assumed they just don't. I always assumed that they just didn't see it. That they don't think it's that they didn't realize that my rook was trapped. And then so like when I play that line, I'm almost playing hope shogi, hoping that I don't get my rook trapped. But after this game that Koshiro played, it's like, what? I had what is the anime meme? I don't know what it is, but like, I had no idea that this was possible. I was watching, I'm reviewing Koshiro's game. And it's like, I had literally no idea this is possible. And the way he punished. Obviously this is Jotsuki, but the way he sort of punished the small fact that the pawn was pushed and the knight was jumped, I was floored. Absolutely floored. You sometimes, especially when you're playing an opening, you think you've seen everything. Or at least I think. Sometimes I just think, I think I've seen everything. But then I see something like that, and I'm like, what? And I know Koshiro prepared it. He had talked about preparing this opening. So I am so curious to see what happens in game 2. Random thought from GM Zerk here, directed towards Melkor. It would be super cool if Melkor and Ishikawa Sensei reviewed strong amateur games like that. Oh yeah. It'd be instructive to hear what they think of the variations they chose for that level and how they handled the middle game plans. Yeah, I agreed. That is one thing. That's one thing that I would love, and I obviously cannot deliver. I would love to see, because I care about amateur games. I like the amateur games. I like knowing the people or knowing of the people, and hearing those games be reviewed. An amateur game, like a review of Koshiro versus GM Zerk, or Koshiro or Melkor versus Telmarch. These are the games that, like, that's worth 10 pro game reviews to me. One of those games would be worth 10 pro game reviews to me. One thing that's interesting is that Ishikawa Sensei, hey, Henri, nice to see you. You're back again. Welcome back. One thing that I saw that's interesting on a related note to Ishikawa is that he tweeted recently, either in the past 24 hours, he tweeted at, I think it's one of the founders of Heroes Shogi Wars, talking about how Western players basically have benefited from Shogi Wars, and that the new European champion is an Urashino Ryu player that plays on Shogi Wars, that honed his openings or something, his skills on Shogi Wars. And interestingly, the Heroes guy responded and basically said, he's glad, he hopes to be able to help promote shogi, to the world outside Japan, something basically like that. Which is good to see. We'll see. The proof is in the pudding, but I would love to see more attention there. But again, if Ishikawa Sensei starts paying more attention to the amateur game, oh boy, I'd be ecstatic. I don't think we have many people that can do that. That create content and can do high-level game analysis. We have Ishikawa Sensei, we have Melkor, we have Adriano Shogi, GM Zirk could do it. Carolina obviously can do it. I don't know who else is streaming and would do amateur games at a high level. Maybe that's all right now. I apologize if I'm missing someone. All right, well, he pushed the pawn. Yeah, I love these positions. This is definitely not what I would play from the Torizashi, from the Urashino Ryu side. Again, I think he's got to get this king over, but the subtle pawn plays are a major characteristic in the games that I would be playing right now, Sunday morning at the East Bay Shogi Club. We have the opposing rook versus Torizashi, or we have the Torizashi transitioning into opposing rook kind of games every single week, and there's so like the pawn play is and the subtle moves are like a feature of these games, are often a feature of these games, because we've played each other hundreds and hundreds of times, many of the same positions. So you say it might be too much work. Too much work for Ishikawa Sensei to be satisfied and too little time. Too much work and too little reward. I think that's the major. I think that's probably why none of this stuff happens. It's too much work to do that kind of stuff, and there's just so little reward. The Western shogi viewer base is just so small. My guess is if Ishikawa Sensei was going to do that, he'd probably get more Japanese viewers than he would get, Western viewers. And if you're going to do that, might as well review Japanese players. But I don't know. I can't speak for him. But yeah, that's always the thing. How much a good player, a GM Zirk, a Koshiro, an Ishikawa, they can do this stuff, but at some point, you need a little appreciation for your time, and it probably becomes frustrating. Yeah, GM Zirk, yeah, the European champion he was in there. Edward, the Edward Panko, who I interviewed in Shogi in the West. It's Shogi in the West that is Shogi in the West takes credit for all these players. So if Koshiro wins TTK, it's because he appeared on Shogi in the West. It's not that he has a decades of legacy of being one of the greatest amateurs outside of Japan to have ever lived. It's because he came on Shogi in the West. That's also why you did so well in the Naroditsky chess tournament, is because you came on Shogi in the West. I'm taking credit for that as well. So we haven't seen Edward's Kifus yet. I have not seen. So the way he described it, he might have been in bad positions in a number of those games. I'm not sure. But I don't know how many players played the Ishikawa countermeasure. Because Starikovic plays fourth file rook. So I believe that was a Torizashi game. So GM Zerk, you say that the Ishikawa line has worked fantastically for you versus Urashino. It's been one of your best lines. I would only hesitate to say, I would ask, are a lot of those results against me? Because that doesn't count. Because those don't count. Those don't count. Because you would crush me no matter what you did. No matter what you do, you're going to crush me. So I would not give the Ishikawa line credit for beating me so easily. So the reward is not really the issue still. You've talked to him, of course, and it sounds like he is personally too busy. Oh, interesting. Yeah, James are going on Shogi in the West definitely worked for you. Yeah. Wins against Caruana and Ivanchuk. You know, these wins, they never would have happened without Shogi in the West. When you know, tournament to king, you know, obviously. Well, just imagine if you would have been on Shogi in the West, Melkor. Just imagine how well you would have done. You would have been undefeated. Oh, two of your best games in TTK were versus Urashino Ryu. Okay, including EP player. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, what a fascinating event. I'm so excited for Edward, and I'm so like personally gratified that that Urashino Ryu could win some big events like that. Like, you know, I know that you know, I've seen Koshiro win like that Hayazashi Meijin tournament in Brazil against extremely strong players playing exclusively Urashino Ryu. But that's Koshiro. You know, it's easy to discount those Urashino Ryu wins. You know, they're more Koshiro wins than they are Urashino Ryu wins. But if I ever doubted Urashino Ryu, which I don't, which I haven't and I won't, I definitely won't now. You honestly forgot your games versus Edward online, but apparently he did remember them, and he was intimidated since they were pretty brutal. Yeah, you know, that's the Urashino Ryu. The Urashino Ryu nightmare is the very solid player who knows their openings really well. In my case, anyway. And you know, talking to Edward, I think it's similar for him. And so, like, of the people that I thought he was going to struggle with, I actually thought he was going to struggle against you. So, you know, I was, after before he won the ESC, before he won the European Championship, you know, I was cheering for him. But then once he won that and he was leading the World Open Shogi Championship, I was cheering for him too, of course. But I thought, well, if he's got to if he has to play, I literally was thinking, if he has to play Melkor, I think that's going to be tough. And sure enough, it happened to be. Just like for me, I feel like playing against Z-Kid is an insurmountable wall that I could never win against. Like, you know, Shogi is such a volatile game. And I think, a volatile player, and I'm playing a volatile opening, you know, a sharp-edged opening. You know, some of the big wins I have against strong players, I don't think there are certain players who I don't think I could do that against. And like Z-Kid would be one of them. I imagine Melkor is another of them, where I just don't see a win ever coming against someone like that is so solid from an opening perspective and can just completely outcalculate me everywhere else. Like I'll never have the lucky chance to win like I sometimes do against strong players. This is so quirky. This is one of the quirkiest Urashino Ryu approaches against opposing rook that I think I've ever seen. This is it's fascinating. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do here, but it's this is a threat. This is a big threat. I think this is a big threat here. You give up your silver, you promote. You get this, you're hitting this, you're hitting this, you're hitting this. Yeah. I'm still, coming out of that ESC, WSC event, I'm still so surprised that that Starikovic is, I don't want to say unprincipled. I don't mean unprincipled, but I'm not finding a better word. He's a fourth file. It seems like he's a fourth file rook player. Like it seems like he's essentially a fourth file rook Rikisen shogi player. It feels like, where he's just so good at shogi that he'll give up advantages in the opening. I don't know if that perception is accurate, but I have my personal bias. I definitely have my personal bias where except for Muse, and except for Noah, realistically, I have this disdain for Furibisha where I respect it so little, which is stupid, which is so stupid. But I sort of do, where I have that not disdain, but such low regard for it, that it surprises me when a really strong player plays it. But in a lot of ways, that Starikovic seems to be this incredible, like Rikisen, like this incredible shogi player. It seems similar to Noah in a way, our 2024 US champ, because he plays like Kakutofu. He doesn't play the most he doesn't play the most engine approved openings. Let's just say I won't say principled, I'll say engine approved openings. And so maybe they're similar in that way, and I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous that they could be that way, that they have so much ability that they can play in that style. Yeah, Sente has a castle while Gote has the lance file, the lineup, which has come to less than nothing. Yeah, these guys are all in trouble. Okay, so he's finally castled. He's defending. I guess this is the way he must be defending against this. Which is interesting. Like I said, I have never seen anyone play Urashino Ryu into this style against Furibisha. It feels like it's just ready to collapse. But I'm not seeing the immediate knockout here. I'm not seeing the immediate knockout. Like, it's the thing is, it is going to collapse. That's what I have learned. What I have learned is that when you don't make your castle against Furibisha, playing Urashino Ryu, especially if you don't have your rook in a great spot, it's only a matter of when you're going to collapse. It's not a matter of if. You are going to collapse. And if Gost 1 gets this gold over to 5.9 or 5.8, I mean, it's already difficult to break in here. The Urashino side is just never going to have time to make an attack because he's constantly going to be under threat. The king must be active in the endgame is great advice for chess, but you don't think it transfers to shogi. Yeah, this looks like a chess attack. It wouldn't surprise me if he's a strong chess player. Just knowing how Edward is, and that family, I think is all chess. I think that family is all chess players. And anyway, Melkor said Sturkovich is an endgame focused player who often just keeps an equalish position till the middle game. Yeah, his game against Edward in the Kishin event, the Kishin, the Shogi Wars Kishin event that was held on Friday, the Friday of the European Shogi Championship. It was bonkers. It was bonkers. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I think one thing also is that Gost 1 doesn't have to go nuts. He does not have to go nuts at all here. Okay, so now silver, right? The silver here is now the move. Silver 7-5. Hey Alexi, great to see you. In case you didn't stay around later, I apologized after I saw it. I completely missed your message yesterday on stream, and just wanted to say it's great to see you. I saw you also in the game spectator list. So 8-4 bishop looked interesting. Just taking immediately, taking and then pushing the silver presumably. 8-4 bishop, 8-4 gold, 7-5 silver. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the position is just going to collapse. This, this I don't love. I think I imagine it's still fine. But I don't see a reason. Is there a reason not to push that silver and just break this up? Yeah, the remaining hole on 8-3 is going to be really rough for Gote. Everything about Gote's position seems assailable. Gust 1 is very solid. I wonder if Don't Know plays this against Faribi. I wonder if this is one of the lines he would normally play. Because I haven't seen, I don't think I've seen more than one of his games. I'm so intrigued. I'm so intrigued by this approach. Because he must have played it before, to some success, I would imagine. And I'm just not quite sure what he's going for. Usually with the various Urashino Ryu opening variants, I can make guesses at what he's going for. I'm just not sure what he's going for here. He's placing all his attack pieces away from the king, and not defending either. Yeah. I do think Goss 1 let him off the hook a little bit with that rook move. Hey, Edward. Good to see you. Good to see you. We've been talking about the European Shogi Championship and Urshina Ryu, and yeah. Your teammate here has played an Urshina Ryu variation that I have never seen before. I'm curious if this is something that he plays often against Furibisha. It's just very. I've never seen anything like it. Gold 7-4 was more critical to fight back. Getting that gold up, just getting it out of here. I maybe I'm missing. I really don't like how Ghost One has tried to take advantage of this though. I think he had such a prime position with that rook on the seventh file and the silver threatening silver 7-5 and the bishop, the bishop sitting on 5-7 supporting that silver. I thought it seemed so ideal to just destroy the position. And now it's feeling all backed up. Now it's feeling all backed up. I think Gauss One is still probably in the driver's seat here, but now it's a little more murky to me. He used to play a first file rook. Oh, and ninth file rook. So the position right now makes sense. I see. I see. I see. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, Melkor, you say that Ghost One has dropped his pawns too heavy away. Yeah. It's very heavy now. Now his pawns are in front of his pieces, and there's no there's no necessary threat here. Time for shower. Bye. All right. Thanks, Melkor, as always. Thanks for stopping by. Always love to hear what you have to say, and hope you have a great week. These are the kind of WSL games that I live for, though. Both players are thinking. Both players are making interesting moves. There's thoughtful stuff going on. We've got people to talk about it with. Your brother is the most unconventional player you know. So is he also a strong chess player? Is he also a strong chess player? Because we were talking about how the king was joining in the end game here, like like chess. Okay, he's as strong as you. So yes, he is a strong chess player. Very interesting. What are we gonna do? Is he gonna back up, or is he gonna take? Is he gonna take and then come over here? Take it, presumably if this lance drops, and then come over here. I don't like that. Now, very rare. It's so what's Sente's plan now? Finish the castle? Finish the castle? Bring the rook back to the third file? Maybe pawn 5-5. Hey, NinWorld, trying to open up the position. Yeah, he's got to open it up because it was so wide open, and then he closed it up. Yeah, yeah, this is bizarre. This is it's still he's got a castle ish. He's got his rook. You know, the bishop is not really doing anything yet. This yeah, it's boy, but it's tightened up. Is there are there any night jump ideas? I don't think so. I don't think so because that eliminates the backing for this ninth file. Are there any lance drops for Gote? Or is he saving his lance drop for this? Yeah, pushing the pawn does seem good. Like I think I think I think my first move is still to come here. I think my plan is still there. Gote is Fugire. Gote doesn't have any pawns, which is somehow yeah. Gote is somehow down material. I mean, don't know as a chess player, so he's like, I'm up material. I'm winning. I'm up a pawn. I'm up a pawn. Let's trade down and get to the end game. Instead of playing a 6-5 pawn the second time, he could have also tried building up with 7-7 knight. Instead of playing 6-5 pawn the second time. But seven, and then when the silver was still on 7-6. Yeah. 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 Yeah, the knight here is in a really nice position, or would have been. Now, of course, it's sort of not a possibility. But he did push 5-5, as NinWorld had suggested. I think I like this. I guess at the end of the day, I think I like this more than my move of 7-8 rook.
30秒、40秒、
I want to say that getting the gold up or to the side was also an idea. So I'm just not sure what gosttone was going for by moving the rook to the fourth file. When he initially came from the third file, I'm not sure what he was going for here. Like fifth, a central rook would have been, I think, a little better. Huh. Yeah, 5-9 Lance. I like 5-9 Lance. 5-9 Lance I like a lot right now. 5-9 Lance looks great. Yeah. I wonder. So I'm actually thinking the same thing, and I see GM Zerk has said that Gote should have played pawn takes 5/5. Yeah, I'm trying to think about what the meaning of this was. Why did he not take? Why did he not take that pawn? I wonder what he saw there. Oh, and there's 5/9 lance, and there's 5/9 lance. Yeah.
$30秒 $40秒
So can he counterattack? Okay. That I don't like as much now because that means the pawn is going to be here. I think maybe it doesn't matter. I was thinking you leave this, you attack over here. I was thinking attack over here, let him take, and then drop the pawn. That way, if he takes, we open up our bishop, or if he takes, we what am I trying to say? We just wait for we do something else and wait for him to take. Maybe I'm not seeing far enough though. You're guessing his idea was that silver 5/4 can go to 4/5 to harass the bishop. Yeah, maybe once the gold is there. Yeah, but now his bishop is open, but he forgot the lance. Yeah, that probably you're probably right. You're probably right. Hey, Blitzing Eagle, great to see you.
30秒
Great to see you.
$40秒
So Gote has 2 lances right now, and those lances can be very annoying. Looking to open up that bishop. That's interesting. Yeah, I think I'd make the token as well. Yeah, I don't think this silver is all that good. I definitely, especially since the bishop can come out with tempo. But like, I don't think the silver's good. But like, I don't know if it's bad. There's just so many holes right now. So one thing. Yeah. So is Ghost one going for the bishop here? Take, bishop takes, pawn drop. I don't know. So yeah.
30秒
Pawn drop. Come over, hit the rook. Rook goes over. That's real tough. Okay, so he's gonna Sabaki his bishop. So pawn drop, rook over. And the I guess one of the problems with rook over, I guess, is that rook can take here and hit this silver. But I think that's why I would have Tataki'd first. But is this an idea now? Can we take? Just one of the problems, like I was saying earlier, is that once the position collapses, and I guess it's sort of rebuilt itself a little bit, but it's still hard to attack this castle. It's still hard to, from the side, it's hard to attack this. And it's really easy for Ghost 1 to solidify this castle. I don't think, don't drop a, I think if you drop a pawn, I think he drops a pawn. So what's the yeah. Seems like I think there's a lot for Ghost 1 to do here. Yeah, this is, yeah, Alexi's saying one of the problems now is that the way to play is very clear for, oh, interesting. The way to play is very clear for white, for Gote. I assume Gote meaning white. But Take. I'm not sure. So the thing is, even if Gote gets like a couple free moves and is able to do this, I still don't know if I love his position. Now he's got 2 pawns. The 1 pawn to hit 5-4 was good. Was, I think, good enough. But now he's got 2. Interesting. Is he's trying to drop the pawn to put the silver in front of the rook? He's trying to block the rook now? He's trying to lead the rook up so that you can block the rook? Yeah. So when he dropped that pawn, taking that token does seem pretty good. But you would be willing to give up that pressure here? I like the resiliency. I do like the resiliency. Yeah, I don't know if it's good, but yeah, I like that. I like the resiliency that Don't Know is showing. Whoa, was that a misclick? No, oh no, it was not a misclick. No. So I think there are doubts going into Ghost One's mind right now. I think I think he's doubting right now. He might be doubting his entire approach on that when he had that diagonal, and now he might be doubting. He might be doubting himself. If he's like me at all, he might be doubting himself. And you've just got to reassess, take the board as it is, forget what happened, and try to win the game. I think he has to take a deep breath. I hope gosttone takes like 2 minutes on this move. So that approach by don't know of just throwing the pieces back and being like, if you're gonna break in, you are going to sacrifice pieces. I like that. I like that defense. I'm trying to find the meaning of this one. I'm trying to find the meaning. Like, when the rook was on 5-7, I think it would have made more sense.
30秒
gosttone still has a great castle. He's still... You know, I think the value of this diagonal is limited. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, sorry, I didn't see Taikutsu. Hello, Blitzing Eagle. You said 3. I wonder when that was. I'm so sorry. My peripheral vision did not pick up YouTube movement until NinWorld's icon. I think it has a little red. It caught my eye. So sorry that I missed messages. NinWorld saying that he has a feeling that Sentei's attack, if Sentei's attack fails, Gote will enter the king. That seems like a possibility here. You've got a rook, you've got the generals protecting in, you've got a Tokien sitting here. It's going to be hard to do something with. Yeah, we might be in for a long one. GM's, you think his idea is gold takes 8-4, pawn drop 8-5, gold takes 8-5. So I'll draw this out here. 8-5. Rook takes 5-4. Lance takes 5-4. Gold drop 8-3. Ooh. That's a big sacrifice. That's a big sacrifice because this rook can come in and hit this free silver. This could be it. This could be it. You could be right. You could be right. I don't know if I believe in that line. I might be missing the payoff in that one, but I'm not believing in that line.
30秒 40秒 50秒 1
Oh, he's sabaking the bishop. I guess that makes sense. This bishop seems to be worthless here. Almost worthless. But I don't know if you want to give a bishop. Interesting. So do you take this pawn? Do you take this pawn with the rook?
30秒
Gote is going to have to be aware of this. Just on principle. Stay alert for that.
50秒 1、2、3、4
Wow. 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 Oof. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So I'm guessing his idea is coming back here, which is Hishi. I think it's Hishi, right? No, it's not. Not necessarily Hishi. It would be Sumero anyway.
30秒 40秒
Does Gote have mate? No, there's no knight. There's no knight.
50秒 1、2
This is hanging. It feels scary to do it, but this is hanging. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that move. I think I like that move. It comes with a threat. Yeah. So now if the gold comes over, silver comes up. Ah, yeah, I like this. I like this move order. All right, Gospel One is playing fast now. I hope that doesn't mean he's flustered. I hope that doesn't mean he's flustered. Yeah, this does look strong. This does look a bit strong. This does look a bit strong.
30秒
Hey, Killer Ducky, decent chance they thought gold 7-2 was mate. Gold drop 7-2 was mate. Forgot that 5-2 square gets opened. Yeah. In that initial. Huh. He's attacking.
30秒
He is attacking. That is a lot of material now. Boy. So silver takes, dragon takes? No, so if pawn takes, the king is running. If pawn drops, king is off to the races. And I think it's over, right? There's no way to stop that with the silver. The knight is doing work, the gold is doing work, the token's doing work, the dragon's doing work. Yeah. Is this just resign now? I mean, obviously it's not going to happen, but is this just resign? What are the ideas to even try here? You think silver takes 7-4, no promote, instead of rook takes 5-4, was still very interesting. Yeah, I agree. I think it was. I agree. He probably, as Killer Ducky was saying, he probably didn't realize or didn't in the calculation that 5-2 got opened up, so it wasn't mate. It was not mate. But Shogi is still crazy. Still got to be safe. Still got to be safe. Yeah. I can't say I would have done that. I think I would have run. I think I would have run this way. So now he wins. Ghost 1 is going to win this bishop. So the bishop runs silver drop, and he wins the bishop. So he's getting the bishop. And it's going to become very scary just because of the knight, because of threats to fork. He doesn't have a knight. Gote does not have a knight to really open this up easily. So running defends. It defends the bishop. So we're still running. So he's not necessarily going to lose that bishop. Not at least straight away. Yeah, after that opening, exactly, Edward, after that opening, who would have thought we would have seen entering king? GM Zerk. GM Zerk did. GM Zerk saw it. I think it was. I'm scrolling back into history. I'm not finding it.
30秒 40秒 50秒 1、2、3、4、5、6。
Yeah. That hurts. That hurts. It's so easy to just it's so easy to make a mistake in shogi. It's so easy to make a mistake once bishops are in hand. it's frustratingly easy to lose, like from a bishop in hand. Like, yeah, he should have just come over. There was no reason to take that pawn. He should have made his progress up the board. It's still, though. I mean, it's still. I think it's still Gotei's game to lose. But the emotional damage of that fork, I think, the mental damage, that I think that did more mental damage than material damage. Yeah, 6-9 rook instead of 8-8 pawn. Yeah, the 8-8 pawn. The 8-8 pawn, I'm guessing he wanted a knight, and I'm guessing he wanted to build a little home for his rook. But yeah, dropping the rook on 6-9 just seems like it would have been way better. Way better. You're threatening to break the Mino castle. You're defending this file, and you're threatening to break Mino castle. I think it still might be a good move. 6-9 rook might still be a good move for Gotei.
50秒。1、2、3、4、5。
That I'm not seeing. That I'm not seeing. Maybe he's hoping. Maybe. Yeah, it's he's crumbling. He's crumbling. But it's not over. It's not over. He's given up. Yeah. That's he's yeah. He's firming up. He's hardening. He's Metapod right now. He's hardening. Metapod is hardening right now. So I think Gotei, at this point, Gotei might have to give up on mating the king. He still has pieces. He still has enough pieces to mate. He still has pieces, with the 6-9 rook drop still is threatening to break the Mino castle. But the problem is Gotei, gosttone can drop a pawn. I think gosttone can drop a pawn back on 5-9 and just end all that. Well, no, because there is the lance still. Don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like. Well, no, he has the. No. This I still don't like. It's. I'm hectic. I'm getting hectic now. Now I'm getting hectic in this endgame. I'd be collapsing as well. I would have collapsed 50 moves ago. I think both of them have been in completely resignable positions so far, and they've turned it around. I don't think that threatens anything. Rook drop 7-9. So I don't mind rook drop 7-9,
30秒
right? Or maybe rook drop 6-9 is still better. Because maybe you can come back this way and promote and defend up here for your king.
50秒1、2、3、4、5
Hate this move. Absolutely. I'm sure there's a thought behind it, but I hate it. I hate it because now it lets gosttone at some point drop the Sokofu, which is going to be the most annoying thing to do. Now like the mate, I think his mate chances are gone. I think. What is this? Okay. But it's not, it's yeah. Now it's not really a threat. It's not, he doesn't have the pieces, I don't think. Or does he? Or does he? gosttone didn't even think. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to lose that dragon.
,30 秒
I think there are at least 3 moments that I'm thinking of. And maybe this isn't one of them, but I think there were 3 moments where gosttone needed to think longer. That's tricky. That's tricky. That's tricky. Yeah. Yeah, effectively this is a free bishop. That's tricky. Yeah, you're threatening this, but you're really threatening this. You're threatening let's say he does this. You know, that's the now just take the gold, right? Now just take the free gold. Take the free gold, get the promotion. You're hitting the silver, which absolutely has to be defended. So does he have mate? Does he have mate? Does he have mate? No, I don't think he has mate yet. So silver, like if he drops a bishop, now.
40秒 50秒 1、2、3、4
What a trickster. It's in the family. Yeah. This is the trickster family.
これより秒読みに入ります。
So I think that the thing is, I think Gote right now doesn't have to mate right now. Sente, or I think Gote can solidify and then mate, or solidify and then completely enter. Well, he's going to be able to mate. I think he's going to be able to mate. I wonder if that's a Byoyomi move. So trade off. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's still probably really it's still probably really good for Gote. But yeah, I wasn't seeing any other plans either. Maybe now you just promote the horse on 5-3 or 5-7, or against Edge King push the Edge Pawn. Huh. Drop the pawn. Now silver 4-8. Yeah. Yeah. Do you drop the rook on 7-9 now? Drop the rook on 7-9? Do you drop the rook on 7-9? Yeah. Hey, Fortune, great to see you. You're missing a barn burner. I like that way too. Actually, I like this way better than rook 7-9, I think. Yeah, maybe that is better. I'm not sure. Pawn 5-8 was better. Yeah, pawn 5-8 definitely better. Could always drop a pawn here. I guess you could drop a pawn on 5-6. Yeah, so what I don't like is that Gote doesn't have good mating pieces anymore. What happens in that tournament if the game ends in a draw? In which tournament? In the Shogi Wars tournament? Or WSL? What does happen in WSL if it's a Sneech day? I think it's half a point, right? Okay, so right now, you know, we have the impasse calculator. So now, you know, now Sente is gonna now Sente can enter the king.
30秒。40秒。
I don't know how to count this position. I don't know what any of this means. It says 20. I don't know what this means. Like, are these perspective? I still think impasse is the biggest flaw in the shogi rules. I think this impasse is just nonsense, but it is what it is. Got to try to figure out who wins, and I don't know who wins. It looks like Gost 1 is going to have more points. To me, a buffoon, it looks like Gost 1 is going to have more points. Which is amazing to think. I don't know how managed to give up all these pieces and not mate. I think he must have just, his brain, maybe like that. It's hard to keep focus in these kinds of games for so long. The chess player method, winning by material advantage in the endgame. Well, does he have the material advantage? Wait, Gote has a huge lead? So how does Gote have a huge lead? They both have 2 majors. And Sente has way more pieces. Right? Or, I mean, these pawns count the same as pieces. Hey, Fox, that's Marento. You think Sente can't protect all those pieces? I guess that's true. I mean, he just lost one of them. Yeah, the scariness of the bishop drop, as we were talking about earlier. Yeah, and now here it comes, and now here that comes. Can Gote mate here? I guess is now. I don't know if he needs to, but can he mate here? Is he going to try to go for more material? So like forking, king runs, take.
30秒。
Presumably king takes, and we could start taking more. 5-7 bishop, 2-5 pawn. 2-5 pawn looks nice. 2-5 pawn looks nice. I think 2-5 pawn before this. Yeah, like you want to close off the king. So he's going to win these. He's going to win all these pieces, but he's got to make sure. I guess they both have to keep making sure they don't get their pieces forked. Their rooks or whatever. I think they're. I mean, Gost 1 has been playing fast the whole time. I think Don't Know has started playing a little faster. You know, just missing the pawn drop. You know, the pawn drop idea. I think a gold drop would have also been just. I think probably just as good. I don't think there's a way to win that. Interesting. Is it mate? Is it mate here? No. Because the knight is defending.
30秒。
Getting out of that bishop diagonal makes sense. Now just enter the king, right? Now just push it in. Come in this way. Wow, he's going for more material. Going for more material. I don't like this. This I don't like. Because now you're exchanging bishops again. This I don't like. This I don't like. This I don't like. You're getting a piece, but you're putting a bishop in the other player's hand. This bishop is doing nothing up here. And now all of a sudden it could threaten things again. I think you don't want this dragon undefended. You just don't want to risk getting forked. Like, cause right now, yeah, yeah. So if we were playing chess, we'd be on colored squares. So if this is a light square, we'd want to get this dragon, sit this dragon on a dark square. It's possible that don't know does not know the rules. You know, it's so common. It's so common with impasse that people don't know the rules, myself included. It's just such an absurd rule. Okay, he does know it. Okay, he knows the rules. He told you about it. Okay, so he knows the rules. He knows the rules. He doesn't seem to. He doesn't seem to know the rules. Black, Sente is entered. Sente is entered. Gote better enter. So for the entered king to start counting, both players have to be entered? Both players have to be entered? So, like, if he would have left his king on 8-6, could Gost 1 have... Well, Gost 1 already was entered. Could Gost 1 have won still? Is there a race to get the points, or do they both have to be entered? Because that's...
30秒。
How does he only have 24 points?
40秒。
So he promotes this pawn. Yeah, the points have to be 27 or 28, but how does he only have that? Does he... You got to get this dragon. You got to at least defend this dragon. You got to defend this dragon somehow, I think. Get your pawn up. Get this guy. Yeah, or just do something like that. Oh, only in camp in hand. Well, in hand, he's got a million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, 16. So he's got 16 points in hand. 16 points by hand. And now, so they're talking. Gost 1 is asking, can you declare the win by Shogi yet? And Don't Know is saying, not yet. I don't have 10 pieces in the camp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why doesn't he get these guys up? Wait, why would he waste that pawn? He should be taking these golds, right? What is going on? Wait, but that's no, you don't need to do that, right? I guess it's just is he being safer? Am I misunderstanding here? He's just being safer because these points already count. Yes, the hand points already count. He just he can. Okay. He already has 10 points. He needs another. He needs to enter 10 pieces. The fastest way is to do it from the hand. Well, I mean, he dropped the knight drop was a move, 2 moves. He could have just pulled the gold in. But even so, you get more points. GG to both. Crazy game. I'm feeling disappointed for Gost1. He played a great opening. He had a crushing position. But yeah, just could not find the idea to break it. He just could not find the idea to break it, and then don't know just played solidly and waited for the mistake, and the mistakes came. And then I felt like Gost1 got it back. I'm gonna copy this Kifu just to put this in and get it running. 211 moves. 211 moves. Add this to the study streamed games. I'll kick off the analysis here, but I'm gonna take a quick bio break and refill my water and I'll get some tea. It's been a while. Gost1. Great game. You know, I'm really feeling for you now because you know that opening you had such a strong position out of the opening, and yeah, it just at some point he played solidly and it just collapsed. It's tough. You're on like a 20 game losing streak. You know, life makes it tough to stay focused on shogi. It really does. But I really need to. I'm not gonna say anymore. I really need to take a break, and I will be right back. I'll try to be quick. Be right back. All right, back. Sorry for the delay. Took and I think I burned my finger. Took a while to get the get the tea going and stuff like that. But yeah, Blitzing, yeah, don't get down as Blitzing says, yeah, don't get down about it. And Andrea Menez, so proud of his Gust 1. I am proud too. It was a great game from both players. I think the opening was just I don't know what happened. It was gosh, I think I burned my finger a little bit. The opening was unlike any Urashina Ryu style opening that I've ever seen. But yeah, so here, yeah, this is fascinating. So I really thought in a 218 game, in a 211 move game, one blunder from don't know. That one move is categorized as a blunder, which seems I don't know about these classifications, but both of you played really accurately. It looks like with relatively very few mistakes, inaccuracies, whatnot. Is this that sack here? Yeah. This one, we were speculating here. I think we were speculating here that you didn't that you thought it was mate, but you didn't realize that after the take, the king has the run. I think that was where we were coming to on that one. You were saying during Blitzing Eagle, you were saying during the game at move 71, your idea. I'm scrolling back. You can't see it on stream. 71 here. You're saying that your idea was 3-2 silver to pressure the bishop. Oh yeah, I talked about that. Like I had actually said, I think I said we can do this. I don't know if it's good. Like I don't know if it's good because the bishop wants to get out here. The bishop wants to get out. So like, yeah, I don't 70, 71. It does seem good that you win some pieces, but you bury a silver. Which pawn blocks it in? Later, the 8-6 pawn. Oh, yeah, well, by pushing the pawn, by him pushing the pawn. Yeah, so you say after this move here. Yeah. I guess, I don't know. I hate to drop a silver there. I don't know. It just feels so kind of wasteful, but maybe it would be fine. Instead of just taking does seem good. But yeah, I think I didn't like bringing the rook over to the fourth file. Let's see if the engine agrees with me at any point. It looks like maybe not. Where's so here is where. Okay, yeah. So this was. So here is the engine doesn't call this a blunder, but it's like a 300-point move. I think we all were expecting this. What does the in-browser engine say here? I think we were expecting this. Oh, no. 8-4. Taking with the silver. Taking with the silver was the idea, right? That James Zirk had said. I think it was here. Engine is saying 8-4 pawn, 9-7 knight, taking the silver, pushing the pawn, jumping the knight here. So this is like Alexi. I don't think it was at this position, but Alexi had been talking about the value of having that knight back here. You know, I think it was when there was something there. Hey, Konoman, great to see you. Great to see you. We watched an incredible WSL game. This was an amazing game between Slovakia and Guatemala. Guatemala has had a tough year this year. They are, you know, they are way too good to be in the bottom of Division C. Way too strong. Yet here we are. I think it's just life. I think life sometimes gets in the way. Wow, the engine does not like this move. And so at this point, it's clear. This is probably the one. Yeah, at this point now it's extremely clear. Extremely clear. You know, we come up sorry, did I? Yeah. Extremely right now. There's just it's going to be this is all going to be very hard times. It's going to be very hard times. Because then we get the 8-3 as GM Zirk had drawn it up. You know, what can he even do? What can he even do? 6-7? That's yeah, Slovakia was... You say they're a dark horse team. Might I remind you, hold on. Might I remind you my Division C predictions here? Slovakia at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I predicted them to finish 5th, and I believe that is exactly where they are. No, they're 6th. They're 6th. But they're climbing. They're climbing. They're climbing. I believed in Guatemala. I really believed this year. Canada's proving me wrong. Yeah, it's good. No, see, this is the this was all planned. This was all planned. This is motivation. So when Team Canada is in the locker room before every month's games, they're like, no one believes in us. No one believes in us. They told us we couldn't do it. They told us it couldn't be done. This is motivation. This was motivation. So my motivation for Canada and United States 3, my motivation has worked. My reverse psychology has worked for Canada. It has unfortunately not worked for United States. This is not what you want to see. This is not what you want to see. This is not what I want to see. The year is not over. The year is not over. United States is playing all the teams they need to pass in the basement. So United States is in a good position. Guatemala is in a bit of a tough position. Australia, we need to beat them. We need Tulip has got to go down. Tulip is oh wait, I'm not on my better scene. Tulip has got to go down. Tulip's team, you know, it's a shame that someone has to lose. But Tulip's team is going to have to if Guatemala and United States are going to get out of the basement, Guatemala is going to have to go down to the bottom. I mean, Australia is going to have to go down to the bottom. Yeah, that would be funny if Canada brings in Blitzing Eagle mid-season. That would be really funny. Real mid-season country trade for seven boxes of Timbits. Yeah, in a deal worth a reported 7 boxes of Timbits, Blitzing Eagle has transferred to Team Canada. Oh, this is tough. I'm cheering for almost all of these teams. That's the that's the real kicker with Division C. Division C is my favorite division this year in World Shogi League. I'm cheering for almost everyone, and it's really hard to cheer against people. Yes, 7 boxes of Timbits, 2 combo meals from Harvey's, and uh and a roasted chicken from Swiss Chalet. I don't know Harvey's, but I've seen Swiss Chalet. In Canada, they don't have any weird pronunciations like you don't call it like Swiss Chalet, right? It's still Swiss Chalet. Oh, a few ketchup lays. Mmm. Mmm. Ketchup lays. Pickle potato chips. Mmm. The ketchup lays. The ketchup potato chips are good. Yeah, this would have been very rough. This definitely would have been very rough. Yeah, it was just so nicely built up. Everything was so nicely built up, ready to go. And then, I think us one just didn't see the idea, and still had a great position, and was just consolidating, but just never saw the knockout punch, and don't know, just kept defending like strong players do. They're just resilient. They keep improving their positions slightly. And at some point, people in a game of shogi, someone's going to make mistakes. And you just have to be prepared for it. And don't know was. Once the opportunity came. Boy, oh boy. But what was here? What was so there was a moment where I thought Ghost One got it back. Oh, and this was it. Yeah, so this bishop move was a big mistake. Big mistake. I'm fascinated by the fact that this is so bad, because I thought this was an interesting idea, at least, to start threatening the Tsumero. Um, oh, so instead of that bishop drop, the same idea, just almost feeling a little more heavy-handed, was this. That's interesting. That's very interesting. But then what if he drops this? We take, he takes, and then we drop again? No, or the Gote just does this. Yeah. So this was one thing that Ghost One did not do, that I thought, if he wasn't going to make the fast attack over here, I did think he needed to solidify a bit the castle at some point, because you just the hanging pieces will come back to bite if given enough time. Hanging pieces will come back to bite you. Hey, Surgebringer, nice to see you. Yeah, I agree, Foradun. I believe United States team is going to have a strong rest of the year. I firmly believe this. I firmly believe this. Let me get out of here. Um, I firmly believe this. So let's look back at the schedule, if you will. And United States in August is playing France 3, tough team. In September is playing Mexico 1, another tough team. In September, October is playing Guatemala, who is struggling, but it's actually all these teams in Division C are tough. So that's part of what makes Division C so great. Not only do I care and like almost all of these teams, I know people on these teams, but everyone's good. Everyone's really good. So October is, like I said, against Guatemala, and November is against Australia. So it's like, the United States has its path in front of them. And then December following up with Slovakia 2, another strong team. So it's all interest. It's all good. It's all set up for the United States to get out of the basement. I think Guatemala might need Guatemala is going to, I think even though Guatemala has a win already, I think United States has the path to get out of the basement. Guatemala is going to need some help from Australia, or help from the United States beating Australia. I think Guatemala needs help. I think Guatemala needs help. You say you need a miracle. I don't think it's a miracle. There's still enough weeks. But if you all play like you're capable of playing, and then Australia has a bad week or two, or France has a bad week or two, or United States collapses, I could definitely see Guatemala and the United States getting out of this. Maybe not getting out of this, both of them. I think one of these teams is going to get out of this basement. I do not think the end of the year is going to have Guatemala and the United States demoting to Division D. I really don't. But kudos to Canada for this year. Again, kudos to Canada. Kudos to all these teams. I mean, Benjamin Shuit is playing, is on fire. The Malaysian team is everyone's strong, but they're ridiculously strong. It would be fun if teams had names instead of just country. I disagree. So I disagree. I'd love to hear your logic on that, but I disagree. I actually really like it being country based. It is sort of unfortunate that there are each team has so many it would be nice if there was a better way to distinguish the teams, like between country. Actually, I wish. So this is, and I know this sort of messes up the yearly progression, but I think every year the country number should be changed to reflect the beginning of the season ratings. So, like, for example, France 3 is in Division C. That rhymes. I'm a poet. France 2 and France 1 are both in Division A. I would say, and Brazil 4 is in Division A. To me, let's use Brazil as an example, as a better example. Brazil has like 5 teams, I think, playing in WSL this year. 5 or 6, maybe. This Brazil 1 should be Brazil 1, and Brazil 4 should be Brazil 2. This is the second best Brazil team by rating. So I think they should be Brazil 2. But that's just me. That, like, Ukraine 2 is in Division A.
this should be Ukraine 1. I think for me mentally, it's just easier to it's easier to be like, oh, France 1. Yeah, France 1 has Telmarch. You know, France 1 is the team with Telmarch because that's the best France team. Oh, well, now I'm wrong. Now I'm wrong. France 1 does have Telmarch. No, it doesn't. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Yeah, I don't like the fun names myself. Maybe I'm just a party pooper. I don't like the fun names. I just think they're kind of, I just think it's kind of dumb. I just think it's kind of, it's unnecessarily silliness for what is effectively, I think, a very serious event. I like a serious event. You know, it's fun to have fun events, but for me, and the way that I treat World Shogi League as a non-player is that I take this as a very serious league. This is serious business. I think it's serious business. So I want the team names to be serious business. But it would be nice to have a better way to distinguish the country teams. I don't know. That's just my take. Obviously, this is completely subjective, but that's my feeling on it. But I really wish the numbers made more sense. Like this is Brazil 4. They're way better than the 4th best Brazil team. How do they decide the players for each team? Would new players change what division the team is in? No. So the new players do not. So my understanding, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, is that you register a team. There is a captain. A captain registers a team. So let's say you register Brazil 4. When they registered, I think they were put into Division E. And then every year, the team of Brazil 4, whoever is in Brazil 4, no matter who is in Brazil 4, the team name this is like the Brazil Badgers. Let's just instead of saying that this is Brazil 4, this is the Brazil Badgers. They started in Division E, they promoted to Division D, then the next year they promoted to Division C, and then the next year they promoted to Division B, and then the next year they promoted to Division A. So it's not necessarily the same players, but I think often it is the same players. But I think that's how you get a situation where Brazil 4 is in Division A and Brazil 2 might be in Division E. Brazil Badgers would be a better name than Brazil 4. yeah, something like that. Brazil Capivaras, because I think Capivara do Brazil is in here. Yeah, there he is. But yeah. So I like the continuity. I like having team and captain continuity, and player continuity. But the players do switch teams. Like, for example, GM Zerk, Z-Kid. He was on the Division C. He was board 1 on this United States 3 team last year of this team that's in Division C. He was board 1 here. He was lured away by a substantial amount of money to come to the United States Division A team. So now he is on United States 1. But this team has been here. Last year they were Division A. This year, obviously, they're Division A. But their composition is slightly different. Like Z-Kid is on this team now. He took his talents from Division C to the South Beach of Division A. There needs to be a salary cap. I think there's probably discussions. I'm not affiliated in any way to the World Shogi League. I'm just a fan. But rumor has it that there are discussions about salary caps, and I think there should be as well. And I think they should be publicly stated. We already hear about Canada offering Timbits to Taiwan. Edward agrees that likes the countries as well. Yeah, I think the countries. I actually think the countries having this a country-based tournament is what makes this tournament so special, or makes this league so special. I think it'd be cool regardless, but without the countries, I don't think you'd have anywhere near the participation. I'm gonna guess it doesn't feel as special, I think. Malaysia's board 1, 2, and 3 are strong. Yeah, Malaysia's Division C is ridiculous. They're ridiculous. They're going to be, unless there's just a sheer collapse, they're going to be moving on to Division B next year. Yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough. Konoman, your understanding on the numbers is that based on the order that the teams entered into the tournament historically. Yeah. So Brazil 4 is the fourth Brazil historically to have registered. Yeah. So, and those teams, the number carries with the teams. Teams are not renumbered across years, essentially. The YouTube comments are not showing up on stream now. Oh man, thank you for letting me know. This has been working pretty well for a while, but let me restart that. Sources. There we go. Oops. You talked to some of the Japanese players on 81 Dojo. They're afraid to join WSL because of the English. And that's understandable. I do think that's understandable. Give me a second here. It's understandable. There's a lot of it is like essentially a non-Japanese league. It's a worldwide league in an otherwise Japanese game, which sort of essentially makes it a non-Japanese league. Kind of. But yeah, it is good to see the Japanese teams that are there. It's the language barrier is tough. It really is. I'm struggling a bit for that streamer tournament coming up. The Shogi War streamer tournament coming up, because it's all the communication's all in Japanese, so I need to try to figure out how I can best ask my questions and get my information without being annoying to the people who were gracious enough to let me play in it. So I might be asking for help from some people to translate some of the things that I'm going to ask. Yeah, if top Japanese amateurs join in to WSL, yeah, it would probably be a bit of a bloodbath. As great as some of our Western shogi players are, I think the depth more than anything, the depth of teams would end our hopes. Like, I'm going to guess, Koshiro can compete with lots of high-level Japanese amateurs. Maybe not the very peak, but very high level. And his teammates are great, but his teammates are not at his level. Are not, they are noticeably lower than him. And I think it's the same across teams. Like Singapore has, one of the best players outside of Japan. Umbreon's incredible. These other guys are also incredible, but I don't think they are near Umbreon's level. That's my perception. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, interesting times. What's coming up next? What's coming up next in WSL? Tomorrow there's a game that I cannot stream because of the time zone. 18th. Yeah, so the next one that I would be able to stream is the 22nd. That is a Saturday. That's 1 o'clock on Saturday, I think. 22nd is Saturday. Yes, Saturday is the 22nd. So I might be able to stream that. I would love to stream Snowpiercer. I'm big Team Canada fan. I've always been supporting Canada, even though I put them at the bottom. I didn't expect many wins. I think why was that? I think it was I'd have to look back on that WSL prediction show, but I think for one thing, it was one of the factors is looking at the ratings of the players that were playing, and also I didn't know who MIH was, and I didn't think Snowpiercer would play all that much. So, I've been happily proven wrong on Canada so far. Although Team Canada do not get cocky, because this thing is not over yet. Team USA is coming for you. Yeah. So anyway, all right. It's almost 1 o'clock. I was going to do a bunch of Tsume. I'll do a little. I wanted to train a little bit. I wanted to do some Tsume, but. So I was going to do Shogi Wars, Tsume Battle. I was going to do a bunch of those. I don't think I have time now to do that. So I think instead, I am going to do a play Shogi easy. I'll switch my scene. I'm going to do a play Shogi easy mate in one run. Maybe I'll do this almost every day and just try to get my time going just to see how it is. This might be boring to watch. I apologize if it is. I'm trying to find my OBS here. And there we are. Okay, so we're back here. With our friendly menu that I complain about every single time I go on Play Shogi. This menu just hanging out there. I complain about this every single time. So this wouldn't be a Play Shogi stream if I didn't complain about it. All right, gosttone. Good game. I'm feeling. I am in your corner. I am feeling for you. You all can do it. You all still can come back. Thank you for playing such an interesting game. Anyway, and I will always be Team Guatemala's biggest fan. So I'm hoping next month comes up, and yeah, I think you were just one move away from that in that one. So that's tough. So yeah, thanks as always for stopping by. How is the scene? It is here. It is in. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to start my timed run. These are 50 problems. Let's see how long it takes me. And I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm sure I'm going to be slower on stream than I would normally be. I think I've done this in the past pretty quickly, but I'm going to start this. These are mate in ones. I'd like to get to the point where I'm doing mate in ones, and then faster and slower ones. I would love to get to that point. It'd be cool to have sound here. Oh wait, did I get it wrong? Oh, I did. Yeah, I did. So I that's the thing. Like I said, I'd love to have sound here to know that I'm getting it right or wrong, and just to get the blood, get the juices flowing. Oops, did I not grab it? Oops. Oh, that's wrong. So maybe I didn't get it wrong that other time. I don't know. Wait, was that wrong? Am I getting these wrong? I can't tell. I see red on my screen, and I think I'm getting a little flustered from that. Okay. Interesting. There we go. What am I looking for? I don't know how many I have here to be doing. Which way? This up here. No, he can go up here. So I go up here. Okay, there. This way, this way, this way. Okay. This way. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Hold on. Escape. This way. No. This way. Oh, I'm not seeing the diagonal. Okay. Okay. 338. 338. 338. What is my? I think that's not my best. I'll have to look. So 338 here is my on stream fastest practice time here. So where is? Oops. My personal best is 136. So I don't know if I'm going to get faster than that on stream, but we'll have to try. So Zendo-kun, thank you. I don't agree with you. I am not pretty good at Tsume Shogi. I think I'm very slow and kind of bad at it. But I do it a lot. I every day I do mate runs on Shogi Quest. They offer 2 mate runs, which is the progressively harder. I think they give you 90 seconds. I think it's 90 seconds, and then it's the goal is to solve as many progressively harder problems as you can in that 90 seconds. And I've been doing that every day for years. I've been doing the 2 daily ones for years. There's Mate Challenge, which is 30-second timed Tsume Shogi on Shogi Quest. I've done a lot of those. Pyo Shogi has mate problems. I've done a ton of those. I've got Tsume books, of course, that I've gone through. Play Shogi has problem collections. I've done a bunch of these on stream. The Mate in 3s, Mate in 5s. And so I've done a lot, but I do not seem to be getting much better. And I do not seem to be keeping up with my peers. By peers, I mean people who have been playing Shogi as long as I have, or people who have done as much Tsume Shogi practice as I have. They seem to be getting better at it faster than I do. So for a beginner, where should you practice Tsume? I'll say first that it depends on your preferences. So, like for example, do you like books? Do you like playing on books? Do you like books? Do you like mobile? Do you like websites? I would say that if you like books, there is a series of books starting that are available at Nekomado. So let's look at Nekomado. Nekomado English Shogi shop. We go over here, and this site doesn't support a secure connection. Yeah. Let me see if I can get a different scene on here. Hopefully this is a little better to read. So if we look here, so one thing is, well, first of all, I will say that check out the podcast. If you haven't checked out the podcast Shogi in the West, one of those episodes in there is all the English language shogi books. So we talk about this kind of stuff. But in terms of physical books, are they at the end? Here, these books here, these Urano books, I'd say these are amazing. These are amazing. They starts at mate in 1, mate in 3. There are a couple mate in 3. There are a couple mate in 5. There are a couple mate in 7s. Actually, there are more than a couple mate in 5s. I might have all these books. They are great. They each have 200 problems, and they're really good. So these are great. There is, if you want to start, if you're new to shogi, I don't think you are, but if you are new to shogi, there is which pieces do you need to make? By Katagami. This is a, if you're familiar with the Bobby Fischer book, which is essentially checkmate problems, I think, if I remember correctly. This is not like that, but it's reminiscent of that. It's a great starting point. It's I don't know if they don't have images here, but and I don't have it handy, but it's like it shows you, it offers what pieces, like which pieces of these can you mate with. This is a great starting point. I think this is a great starting point for Tsume Shogi, for Shogi. Surgebringer is recommending the endgame attack at a glance, which is ending attack at a, or is it endgame attack or end the at a glance series? It's great. That is a great introduction to mating. It's not all Tsume Shogi. It's also Hishi, where you're setting up brink mates. It's a great book. I don't know if I'd start with that. I think that's a little more difficult. At least it was for me. But I talk about that in the podcast. But these mate books are fantastic. So for mobile, I think you have two. I think of it two options. I know there are others, and other people have some favorites, but the applications that I feel safest running, and I am not too annoyed by, are Shogi Quest, which has Mate Run, like I said, and it has Mate Challenge. Mate Challenge, you get a rating, so you get puzzles, and as you get better at the puzzles, at these puzzles, at mating puzzles, your rating goes higher, and you get harder ones. They are full board, real world game mates, which I think are great. The only downside, and this is a downside, it's potentially an upside for some people in some situations, but there's a downside that they are timed. So you only get 30 seconds per mate problem to solve them. I think it gives you a little padding of seconds per move, but regardless, it's basically solve a mate in 30 seconds. And I know strong players who have played 20,000 of these puzzles there. So it's a time-tested app, and I think it's great. Pyo Shogi I think also has great mate problems. Some are not as good as others, but every day there is a mate in 1 to 3, mate in 5 to 7, mate in 9 to 11, and beyond. I don't know what they all are, but the low and the medium are great problems, and they have a history in the app of going back, I think, at least a year or so, a year or two maybe. And so they have a lot of problems in that PoShogi app, and I love these problems. I use PoShogi Tsume a lot. Like when I am out, like at the doctor office, or I'm waiting at the Shogi Club for my opponent to come, drinking a coffee, I'm doing PoShogi problems, and I love them. So for mobile as well now, you also on Shogi Wars have Mate Battle, which is a little more hectic. It's a battle system where there are each battle you get match made with someone else at your level, and you have to solve 10 problems in, I think it's 3 minutes. And you cannot skip any, so you might not solve any in 3 minutes. But anyway, you solve these problems, and the person who has solved the most, or who has solved 10 most quickly, wins the battle. But it's a bunch of real-world mate problems. I am a huge fan of real-world mate problems. These books are all composed. So they're smaller. I don't know if she'll show an example. Yeah, so here's an example. It's very limited pieces. You learn the pattern. The idea, I think, is that you learn the pattern and then apply the pattern to your games. I like these. They're great, but I do prefer full board. Because my vision is so bad. My full board vision. So I want to work on that. So these are there. In terms of website now, Lee Shogi, as Serge Ringer has mentioned, has really nice mate problems, and I have done a lot of these. Where's mine? I have done 1,494 puzzles on Lee Shogi. That's not too many in the grand scheme of things, but it's a lot, and I like them. The rating system has this quirk that it uses, that it decays your rating like a normal. Like a Glico 2 rating system. If you don't play, your rating degrades, which doesn't make as much sense for Tsume. And it's really finicky. So it's like, if I don't play in a couple 3 days, it seems like all of a sudden my rating is provisional. And I hate that stuff. I'm weird. I don't like to see these questions. I'd rather there not even be a rating. If you're going to do this question shenanigans, I don't even like it, just because I'm quirky and I have my issues, and I don't like to see this question mark. But anyway, they're good here. But what a lot of people use is this, what I just used, which is Play Shogi, playshogi.com. It's an older interface. It's got its quirks, like these menus that I constantly complain about. They're just the way they behave are just annoying. They're just annoying to me. The board doesn't resize when your view resizes. It feels very of its time, but they have a lot of great collections of Tsume. So for example, the one I did is Easy Tsume in one move. So it's one move Tsume problems. There is also a series of them in 3. Very easy, still easy, but not as much. Slightly less easy, not so easy. So this is 5 different mate in 3 problem sets. And each of them have like 180. So tons of mate in 3s. They are composed. They are not full board real positions. These are composed problems, but they're fantastic. And so a lot of people have done these a lot. I wish it kept stats better. There's a lot I wish about this, but for just solving problems, if you are in a web browser and you can deal with how it fills your screen and you don't mind the graphics as much. Like, I don't like these graphics very much. I don't like in real world, I like the sort of peacock striped piece sets. In virtual, I don't. It's just it's lower res. Regardless, if you don't mind this, it's a great resource for these types of problems. So hopefully that helps. I think that's about it. I think that's about it. We don't have anything as good as the chess world does, but we have resources. The menu popped up again. This it's like the hover menu that just hangs out. That it's just so annoying to me. It offends my sensibilities so much. You do not, Surgery, you do not like the Shogi Quest puzzles. You do not feel like you progress with them. Maybe it's the 30 seconds. Yeah. It's everyone. It's to taste and to everyone's different. Yeah. I know some people. I think magic based. I think gosttone. Some people over the board that I play with. They have done a gazillion of these Shogi Quest puzzles, mate challenge puzzles, and they are very strong at the end game. So I think the evidence is there that they work for some people, but maybe for other people they don't work. So I think that's the same with shogi learning in general. There is no one size fits all. There just is not. Despite how black and white some people want to make shogi education and learning out to be, there is no one size fits all. And so it's nice that we have the variety. And I'll switch back to here. And so that's it. I hope that helps. I do hope that helps. You do have your work cut out for you. I feel like I'm missing some things. I do feel like I'm missing some other options or resources. Maybe I'm not. But in terms of books, there are a gazillion Japanese language Tsume books that you could also find easily on amazon.co.jp. And I probably own 5 to 10 of those as well. And some of them that I like, they're books that are called like 135, 357, where the first section is mate in ones, the second section is mate in threes, the third section is mate in fives. So you get sort of a balance of these problems. You're not just stuck to one. And I have enjoyed in the past, like when I travel, it's more likely that I'll take a 135 book or a 357 book, just so that I can change it up based on my mood or my attention, things like that. So rather than taking a mate in 3 book and a mate in 5 book, I like taking a single mate 357 or whatnot. And anyway, that's just something to think about. So I hope that helps. And on that note, I think I'm going to close it up for the day. I'll be back tomorrow, and hope you all have a good weekend. Thank you for watching that exciting game today with me. I had a blast, and I think what made it extra fun is that there was so much great chat from so many players. That made it. This game today was the most fun WSL game I think that I have streamed. So, and it's because of the chat. So thank you for that. Thanks so much. I will see you all in the future. Take care. Enjoy your shogi. And thanks again. Bye.